We alive. I'm glad you're ready.
Thanks, Jen.
We should be wearing hoodies. I mean, maybe it's Cybersecurity Month, guys.
To coordinate a little bit better next week.
I mean, because, trust no one.
Right.
It's scary stuff. So before we dive into today's topic for Cybersecurity Month, make sure you go to dstech.net and subscribe to our newsletter. I send one weekly with lots of tips about stuff like this. And sometimes I even send warnings. Like, I don't know, we had a warning about some big phishing attempts going on recently. I put a big red exclamation point on it. It was like, watch out for this phishing attempt. So let's talk about that. What is a phishing attempt first?
Well, even just real quick, even for any of our viewers, we internally talk about this kind of stuff. Even this morning during our internal meeting, we had one of our senior techs bring up a recent hacking attempt or scamming attempt. So
pretty sophisticated social engineer, not just the typical let's send you an invoice that's fake and then you click it and you get a virus, but they're actually looking actively in local newspapers for retirements that were happening and then send an ACH form to that person who's retiring, and then their payroll is actually possibly, can fall for it and put that request in and things like that. So that kind of actual real world stuff happens where they use more social engineering along with the phishing to really kind of nab a good payday, I guess.
We've seen it.
The point too internally was to continually support that culture of risk or potential hacking. Just by us bringing it up internally, we are more aware, and then we can share that awareness with our customers and clients, and exactly what we're doing here again today. So we hope you are engaged and learn from this.
And the number one way people get into your environment is still always phishing. It's probably will always be phishing, but that's the number one way that most places get in is through email and phishing attempts.
Compromise. Yeah.
We should totally give out some more swag.
Okay. What do we
I don't know. We could give out a mug or a t-shirt.
Send us your
or
craziest
something.
image of a phishing email.
Yeah.
If you think it's so funny and we
one.
use it, we could,
Yeah.
as an example, we could, maybe give you some swag if you gave us, I don't know.
Yeah, if you've got that good Amazon one that I think we've seen before, or I've seen some recent ones.
That one's gotten me, almost got me. They even send it on your phone.
Are pretty clever nowadays.
They are clever.
You have to keep your eyes open for those. Certainly, please, if you do have an example, take a screenshot and send it over. Please don't forward any emails.
Yeah.
But we would be very interested in learning what you're seeing out there, and then also provide some sort of DS Tech reward for that. So
yeah, absolutely. We have pens. We have fancy pens too. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. We have lots of stuff.
So tell me about phishing. What do we know? What do we
know? What should we look out for, right? And what should we do about it? Okay.
So for me, the biggest red flag is anything when you get an email and they make it sound like it's super urgent, like you need to drop everything you're doing and address this email right now. A lot of those are like, oh no, you're missing an invoice, or we haven't received your last payment. A lot of times they come with like accounts payable, accounts receivable, those types of things where they'll send you a PDF that's an invoice for something you just purchased, but in that PDF there's code that if you click it will start running in the background and can start infecting your computer and giving them a doorway in, things like that. Same thing with Word, Excel files. All those files can contain those type of malicious code embedded in them. Executables, all that kind of stuff. So you really want to just, if you ever get anything that's urgent from a vendor, whether it's a business you're doing with, from Amazon, from whatever it is, my advice is don't click anything in the email itself directly. It's always best to contact them via phone, via another channel, and verify that what you got was legitimate if you're really uncertain.
So in other words, you open the email, you see, you don't know for sure, so you don't click anything, right? You open your browser and you go to your account, like Amazon.com, and log in and see if what they're talking about is there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Quickest check is if you even just click the link, or some of them are so advanced, clicking inside the email and that kind of stuff can trigger them. So you really want to make sure you don't click anything in the email at all, not even the intro link. If you even have a hesitancy or questioning it at all, it's always best to err on the side of caution than to click and try to fix it after the fact.
So what you're saying is that email I just received from my nephew Billy, who is stranded in Africa and has lost his wallet. and urgently needs me to send them some money to get them home safely. You're saying I should be cautious about those?
Do you really have a billion
Yeah.
in Africa?
Unless you spoke with Billy on the phone
No.
a day earlier.
Okay, well, if you don't have a billion in Africa, you probably should click it.
And a common thing with older folks is they try to do like retirement reinvestments
Yeah,
in their
that's the latest
scams.
one.
So
Yeah.
just be very careful too. If you're like an elderly person getting emails with retirement, all that kind of stuff, you're on a fixed income, and they're offering that, oh, we can take you and switch you to this, and you're going to make so much more money, blah blah blah. It's 99% of the time it's a scam. So.
Another one that I find myself falling for quite often, because I am probably the most gullible person out there, is the free gifts. I love getting free stuff. So anytime anybody sends me anything with something free in the title, or if I fill in the survey, I'll get a gift card, or anything like to win the car or whatever it is, I'm clicking on that kind of stuff. Heck yeah.
Right, the
10 minutes
sweepstakes
of
and
10 minutes of your time, fill out our survey, and we'll give you a $50 Amazon gift card. And the survey questions are kind of personal and they're a little odd, and you're just wondering why you're filling out the survey for Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
So my advice is don't do surveys like that.
They want your passwords.
Right?
That's what they want.
But they're going to give me free stuff, though.
We will give you free stuff.
Yeah. And we don't want your passwords.
And we don't want your passwords. No, absolutely not. Okay, so we've already covered a lot of points on my list here.
So common things to actually look for in the email itself is, double check the actual email address.
Yeah.
Make sure it's from the actual. Sometimes they're slick and they put an O for a 0 or a L for a capital I, and they're trying to trick you. So just verify the actual reading of the email address, and then the content, as well as the links. That if the link is some garbled link with a bunch of random stuff in it, it could be more likely malicious than just an actual link that says Amazon.com/order21. That
we
looks
have a
legitimate.
story.
Uh-oh.
We have a story. This one was really sneaky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this particular scenario, a customer got an email from a vendor that they always deal with.
Yep.
It was legit, right? That they do business like this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere in the thread, someone had hijacked the vendor's email.
Yep. I remember the story now.
You remember this story?
I do.
And the conversation continued. I mean, it was like seamless.
Yep.
But you could see where the address, the
Yep.
email address
It
changed.
started changing, yep.
It went from like .com to .net or something like that. So you really got to watch. Really got to. It gave me shivers just thinking about it, because I would fall for something like
That's
that.
exactly what they do.
Because they compromise in, and they'll hijack an existing email. Because if you're a hacker and you're smart, the second you get into someone's email, you're not going to just start deleting things and making it obvious you're in. You're going to slowly just monitor, see what's happening, and then if you see them, a CEO's talking with so and so, or accounting's talking with them, you're going to sneak into that email and try to inject maybe your own routing number for your own bank at the
Even
final
the
of the real
languaging.
thing.
It was so crazy because it was, a foreign, not a United States.
Yeah.
It was a vendor overseas. The languaging even was matched. It was crazy.
Well,
anyway.
I think, the common perception out there of these hacker types, these agents, these bad agents, is a mom's basement working, it's not. These are
smart
corporate buildings with large
sophisticated
operating budgets and many cubicles of dedicated hardcore educated workers. I mean, it's a business, actually.
Yeah, so a lot of times the ones that people will fall for that cost the most money aren't just the random click where you get ransomware. It's the ones where they accidentally sent their information to a true social engineering phishing type scam, where they got in and they really, got them to send a check or whatever, change their routing number. And a lot of times if you do that, it's hard to reverse that action once it's already gone through.
Yeah.
What are some things to, I guess, help prepare any viewers who are listening and, say I get emails all the time. I do, all the time. And a lot of times it's easy to just gloss over it and just go through them. What are some other tips for our viewers that we could possibly leave them with?
Just be diligent. When I go through my emails, it's so easy to start, I'm going to click through all these real quick and just get them done in the morning. But just take that extra little bit of time and be diligent, really going through your emails. If you're getting a bunch of certain vendors, what I like to do is, if I'm constantly interacting with someone, I'll make folders and rules to help manage my email inbox, so it kind of goes to the important ones first, and then that way I can maybe spend more time on the non-important ones, making sure those aren't more spam. But really, just kind of taking the time and being vigilant is really the best thing you can with the phishing.
Don't always trust the source, right? I mean,
what about relying on some of the tools in place? Certainly, DS Tech has got some tools to help thwart this types of efforts. But what are some of the common tools that others may be able to employ?
Oh yeah, there's email filtering where we have tools in place like the Barracuda spam filtering or Security Gateway, things like that, where they kind of scan the messages as they come in and check the headers and the underlying code and things like that. It can automatically block it before it even gets to your inbox. That way you don't have to worry about your employees accidentally clicking a lot of the malicious links. I mean, that'll take care of usually 90-95% of them. Some obviously are still going to get through, so it's always important to constantly train your staff on it. However, there are tools you can put in place that will filter. If you use Office 365 and pay for a little bit better licensing, there's actually security things in place with there as well to help filter out and flag messages. If you're sending important information to people, you can always encrypt your information. So that way the message is encrypted en route, so it's less chance of a hacker actually being able to get into that message and extract the contents as well. So.
Plus, we have training.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I get spam messages that get by our spam filter, but they were supposed to get by the spam filter because they're trying to trick me.
We have training in place where you can give us a list of your staff and we will send emails. It can be tailored to you. If you want to do it once a week, once a month, however frequently you want, and you can exempt certain employees. However you want to set it up, we can do that for that phish training. And then you can have reports to see which staff is possibly clicking the links. And there's little training resources as well where if they fall for the phishing, they can watch a little flash video that kind of shows them, hey, this to watch for so you don't do this again.
Yeah, it'll walk you through and show you what to look for. And finally, what do you do if you suspect a phishing email?
I always just let your staff let them know. The first thing, if I got like a phishing email and it was legitimate phishing and it wasn't, I would check to make sure it wasn't like the test phishing
in our network.
Yeah,
and yours, if you don't have that.
And if it was a real phishing, I would go to my management, whether it be my immediate manager, your senior manager, whoever you have contact to, let them know that you got an illegitimate link, and that way they can let the other staff know that they might be also getting these links too, and so everyone's kind of on high alert for that. So make sure that no one else is also clicking on that.
Well, I think remediation is key here. The quicker, the sooner. The potential risk could be identified, the better off you're going to be in the long run. As we talked earlier, if the hack or phish is undetected, they may sit there for months and months and months and just watch and listen and wait. Whereas if suspecting user thinks maybe they did something wrong and they report it right away.
Don't be afraid to if you click that link and it popped up.
I didn't think that.
It happens all the time where someone clicks the link and they hurry up and exit out of the video really quick because they didn't want to.
It's okay.
It's fine, but maybe the damage is already done. So if you did that, it's always best to own up, let whoever it is know, hey, I clicked this link accidentally, because then we can actually take action to stop it from spreading or whatever. Whereas if you kind of mask that, we're going to find out anyway that you clicked the link. And it's just going to be harder to fix. So just be honest, let your staff know that you did, and we can take the action to correct that. So.
That's good. I forgot. I didn't even think of that.
They also do, we have dark web scanning too, where they'll look out in the dark web, which are basically forums where people trade information. So they'll have like emails with possible compromised passwords. A lot of times those passwords can be older, but if you're not changing your password regularly every 3 months or 1 month or whatever your policy is, they're going to get that password and try logging in, and then they're into your email. They're not even phished you. They're in there and they can mask and pretend they're you. So you always want to check that once in a while. And if you do have compromised passwords, change them immediately.
I'll give you a really fun example of that. So, DS Tech has been established for quite some time. And over the years, we've had a number of passwords that we've shared amongst staff, and a lot of the times they're very similar.
Yes, I remember.
We did a dark web scan a bit ago.
Did mine show up?
No, it was the previous owner of the company, and it was the one password I've seen probably 7 times.
I did have mine show up on that before.
That we've used for a lot of things, and it was kind of eye-opening to see that password.
Was out there.
Literally, that's the one that I've used for some big access operations. Literally, the back ends of some of our clients' businesses.
It's good
and things.
information to have.
That's
Scary.
why you should never reuse your
Scary.
passwords, as convenient as it is. And
Right.
then it brings us to next week's topic,
Exactly.
which is about using a password manager
Yep.
and secure passwords.
Yeah,
so
we'll
if you
talk
really
about
are
that next
concerned,
week.
especially on the password side of it, tune in next week for the password manager and those kind of
Yeah.
solutions that you can put in place. So
In the dark web scan, I just whispered to Aaron because I was wondering, it's free.
It's free.
All you have to do is email security@dstech.net and say, I want a dark web scan on my company's stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll do it for you.
And not only that, is if you're brave, we'd openly help review it with you. You know,
Sounds
maybe
cool.
not on TV, but
No.
but
No.
you know, we would give you our best assessment and things you could do to clean that up if there are things on there that could use some work.
Cool.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. So you got to lean in and say this.
Oh yeah.
Trust
Trust
no
no
one. See you later.